Mel, I mean, just touching on last week, goals change games. Eleanor had a brilliant chance to put you in pole position, but missed the penalty.
Yeah, a big moment. I think firstly, in terms of the first half display, I thought both teams kept each other relatively quiet, which again the data kind of backs up in terms of no real big chances for either team in that first half. I thought our shape was good. I thought we did well on the counter-attack. We got into the areas that we wanted to get in. It was kind of our final ball in decision-making to then be able to get a shot off. I thought we started the second half brightly. Big chance for Emily Scarr from, I think it was literally from kick-off. And then obviously winning the penalty, which is, like you say, a big game-changing moment, and unfortunately we haven't took it.
You had mentioned in the build-up to the game about defending set pieces and end of the game as well, and it's sort of it's haunting you a little bit at the moment.
It is, and it's really frustrating. We had a big review following the Bristol game, which was 3 set pieces, and we tweaked some things. We had a big conversation with all the players and the staff about it and changed our structure. And we kind of defended them well against Portsmouth, and then it's come back to haunt us again against Newcastle. And we just have to be stronger in their moments. We have to prepare our shape, our body shape, to be able to fight and get above players to then go and clear, because they're soft. And like you say, they do change games, they change the momentum. And when there's nothing really much between the sides, they're really important that we can defend them better, both of them as well.
Is there a little bit of a paradox in the sense that when you look at your statistics, they're actually very good. You're doing all the right things in terms of the distance you're covering, passes and so on. It's just you're not getting an end product. It's almost like watching Scotland the other night. Maybe you should play really badly and score 3 worldies.
Yeah. And that's where we've got to remain positive. It's really important that we're not down and out. Yes, we're on the wrong side of the results, but a lot of the time, like you say, we are doing the right things. Our XG was really high compared to Newcastle. We were over 3 XG, they were under 1. We've had 14 shots at goal. Both teams only had 4 on target. Our pressures were really good. Our regains were really high. So there's some really good returns. It's just these little fine margins of probably the set pieces, definitely on Sunday, and lapses of concentration the previous week. We've got to keep working at it. We've got to keep our spirits up. We've got to really be clear in terms of what we're going after and look after the players. Some players are feeling the pressure, which is normal when you're in a bit of a rut, but we have to be positive, and we have to remain together in these moments, and we're really confident that we can get out of it.
Do you have to hold your nerve as well? I mean, coaches often say when you're in these situations it's back to basics, but is that the right approach? Sometimes you just got to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, and we believe in the squad. We believe in the players. In moments that you feel under pressure, it's about shoulders back, chest out, and being really clear on what we're going after. And like you say, going back to basics, like defending really well and ultimately putting the ball in the back of the net at the other end. It sounds so simple, but it's the simple things that we're not really doing very well at the minute.
Is this weekend's game a good game to have then? Because I'm going to use that cliche, it's a free hit, but a good chance for you, for maybe those players that are feeling a bit of pressure, just to get a bit of confidence back.
Yeah, we said that on Tuesday as a collective. This game is massively important. We know it's a dead rubber in terms of both teams can't qualify out the group, but in terms of getting a result and getting the feel good going into the international break to come back into the Notts Forest game is important. We'll keep things simple. We'll be really competitive with the team that we put out, because we have to try and get some momentum. There won't be huge changes, because I think that's not what the team needs at this moment in time. So we have to find a way that works and be consistent with what we're doing in terms of leading up to the next league game.
And I mean, you personally, do you feel pressure? Do you have to try and make sure you're not showing any sort of pressure to the players? That if you're showing it, it rubs off on them.
Yeah, there's no one more disappointed than me in terms of the results, because ultimately I'm in charge. But I do believe in the squad. We have got good players, and we've been in this position before. You know, we've had worse runs in previous years with probably lesser players. So, you know, we've got to work together to get out of it. And we do that by having a positive mentality, energy, and, you know, by working hard. The Sunderland team works hard, and we'll get out of it. We have to keep believing that we can.
Do you look back to the start of last season when you had that poor start and dig into that and say, look, this is how we got out of that situation?
Yeah, they're all experiences, aren't they? And that's what you draw on. You know, you've been in the game a long time now, and you've got to use them experiences to find ways to get out of it, and find ways to give players more confidence, the ones who are or maybe affected it. You know, some players hide it. You know, some players can put on a brave face, but then when they step on the pitch, they might show that. So it's, you know, as a head coach, it's trying to find the right ways and the right players to win a game.
One of the things that's been so unusual about last week is the number of goals you conceded. I know as a coach, it's something you've always prided yourself on. How disappointing is that, and what do you kind of put it down to? Is it set pieces, the clusters of goals as well? It's not something we've associated with this team.
Yeah, and the set pieces are a big thing. When you think the 3 against Bristol, the 2 against Newcastle, that's probably half of them over the last 3 games. And you'd think that's an easy fix. Yeah. You know, we have tweaked it. We had everyone back on a corner against Newcastle, but yet we've still conceded 2 goals. Players have to be able to, like I've just said, mark players properly in terms of their position, their body position, rather than trying to stop them trying to score, like being more aggressive, being on more of a front foot to try and go and win the ball and clear. The second one against Newcastle, especially when we've had an opportunity to clear, we're thrashing at the ball with our laces rather than just side footing and clearing away the danger. But yeah, the goals that are coming in quick succession as well is, again, something that we've spoke about in terms of the group need to come together in their moments and have one voice and reassure each other in their moments what went wrong if we've conceded, or also if we've scored, what went well, what do we need to keep doing. So yeah, we're trying to find little ways to impact the team in their moments. But yeah, it's been challenging, but again, we're working really hard to try and fix it.
And I guess the balance for you as a head coach is you don't want to almost spread a panic to the players, but there also comes a point that the same things keep happening and you're going to have to change your personnel, I guess.
Yeah, and that's, you know, players have got to take on instructions. They've got to be able to carry out what we're asking them to do, and also they've got to be accountable for what they're doing in terms of their actions. And like you say, if players keep making their mistakes, then, you know, they probably will find themselves out the team, and someone else will have to come in, because we can't keep addressing the same mistakes and doing the same mistakes, because it's costing more points. Cheers.
Just on kind of confidence being low, how's that something you kind of work on to kind of get out of that?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you can't have a bottle of confidence and just go and give it to someone and make them feel better. It's about everyone's different in terms of the player needs. It's about how the player shows up, about how the player trains, what they do in their preparation before the game, after the game, having them conversations, and, you know, what can the player do to make themselves feel good during the week, to give their self-confidence. You know, we can give them confidence in terms of going through clips, reinforcing good things, correcting technical errors maybe, and giving them reassurances of what needs to happen. But yeah, we're a together team, and I think that's really important, that they can lean on each other in these moments as well.
I was just touching on the game. Obviously a bit of a dead rubber, but against a local rival, does you think that'll help if you can get a result there to really push on for the rest of the season? Yeah,
it's like we say, it's not a free hit, because we're taking the game really seriously, because we need to win a game of football to get the smile back on people's faces and to go into the international break on a positive vibe, so then the players can come back and work hard during the international break and then be ready for Forest. So, you know, they've trained well this week in the snow. A little bit of upheaval in terms of our training venues and stuff like that, but, you know, we hope the game will be on first and foremost with the weather. because we're desperate to get back on the pitch and put things right.